Welcome, beautiful yogis, to your condensed holistic yoga practice. This practice is for all levels, and it will help you to balance your physical and energetic bodies. Before our practice, I recommend that you take a moment for meditation, or at least pause and create a space for conscious mindfulness. Once you've found that, start to incorporate your ujjayi breath. For the first few rounds, purely feel the breath and the flow of energy moving in and out of your body. From your inner being out to the cosmos, and from that limitless cosmos back into your body. Maintain your ujjayi breath, and when you're ready, open your eyes. We'll start our practice with shoulder circles. Try to find the full rotation in the shoulder, and then reverse the direction, continuing that deep ujjayi breathing. On your next inhale, reach your arms up, bend your elbow, use the opposite hand to draw the elbow back, and then release, sweeping that arm across your chest, hook the forearm, and draw your head to the opposite shoulder to stretch the side of the neck. You can even move your head from side to side. Switching sides, inhale, arms up, bend the opposite elbow, gently press your head into the upper arm, and then release that arm, sweeping it across your chest, hook it with your forearm, and then draw your head to the opposite ear. Release your arms back down, and then take your feet out in front of you with your knees bent. Your feet are a little wider than your hips, and drop your knees over towards the left. And then to the right, pressing down through the knee, pushing up through the hip, feeling the stretch in your psoas and quads. Switch it out again. And one more time over towards the right. Now drop your knees back over towards the left, this time taking your right hand to the left knee and look over your left shoulder. Again, lifting up through the opposite hip to feel that twist through the entire side of the body. And then let's switch it out. Drop both knees over to the left, taking your right hand to your left knee, lift and twist, looking over your left shoulder. Okay, now let's find our way onto our hands and knees and take it into a child's pose, Balasana, sinking your hips back towards your heels. Now don't worry about whether or not your hips touch, just try to find some comfort here. Breathing through the length of the spine, softening your shoulders and belly. Make your way onto your hands and knees. Make sure your feet are as wide as your knees and incorporate your cat-cows. So working through spinal flexion here, dropping the belly and then arching the spine. And really try to get the full range of motion through the spine, articulating through the vertebrae of the spine. Inhale as you arch and exhale as you round. Continuing the ujjayi throughout this entire practice will help to balance your nervous system, create some internal heat to really get everything warm, open, lengthened. So now extend your right leg back, curling the toes under, press back through the heel and press the space behind your right knee towards the ceiling for a deep calf stretch. You might even feel this in your Achilles and in your hamstring. Take it to the other side, curling the toes of the left foot under. And bring it back down to hands and knees. Now make sure your knees and feet are wide. Keep the left hand on the floor. Inhale, reach your right arm up and then scoop your right arm all the way through underneath the left. Drop down to your right shoulder. Extend the arm above your ear and start to look underneath your armpit. Now, this should be an upper back stretch and a shoulder release. And let's switch sides. Keeping the right hand down, inhale your left arm up. Exhale, scoop that left arm all the way through, gently touch down onto the left shoulder, tuck your chin in, and extend the right arm above your head. And breathe through that gentle spiral of the spine, paying more attention through the space between the shoulder blades. Now we're going to come back up to hands and knees, press back into child's pose, and take striking cobra. So as you inhale, you're going to scoop your chest across the mat. Inhale into cobra. You can keep your elbows bent or come into the full expression. Exhale back into child's pose. Inhale as you scoop through into Cobra. Exhale, press it back into Child's Pose. Pay attention to the spine. Don't strain the spine in Cobra. Inhale, scoop through, try to soften the glutes. Exhale all the way back into Child's Pose. Inhale as you scoop through, find the full breath. Exhale, press it back. Now let's make our way into Downward Facing Dog. You can always take a down dog with your knees bent. The important thing is to try to keep your lower back flat. Don't worry about whether or not your heels touch. Step your right foot forward, drop your left knee to the floor, take your hands onto your right thigh, and gently sink your hips forward for a low lunge, keeping the right heel anchored. Keep your belly drawn in and lift your chest away from that right thigh. Try not to collapse forward. And then lean back, extending the right leg out in front of you. Draw the right hip back and reach your chest towards your toes. Do not strain the hamstring. You can always bend your right knee or use props, blocks on either side of the right leg to modify and support. Take that right knee back and let's bring it into Child's Pose. Just to let your hips settle before we take it over to the other side. Back up to hands and knees, step your left foot forward, take your hands onto the right thigh and lunge. So if you've forgotten to maintain the connection to the Ujjayi breath, come back into it, deep breaths in and out of the nose, creating that internal heat. Okay, let's go for the hamstring stretch on the left side. So take the left hip back. Pay attention to your body, don't strain. Keep the top of the thigh engaged, so engage your quadricep to support the lengthening of the hamstring. And then let's come to a forward fold at the front of the mat, knees bent. Try to get your chest to rest onto your thighs, wrap your arms behind your legs, and just rock your head gently from side to side. Release your arms down, shake the shoulders a little bit, and gently round all the way back up to standing. Inhale as you reach your arms all the way up, tailbone down, shoulders soft. Exhale, forward fold. You can bend your knees here. Try to keep the back flat. Inhale, look up. Exhale, step back into plank position. Now we're going to move into Chaturanga. Try not to let your elbows move past a 90-degree angle in the bend. Inhale into up dog or cobra, thighs on or off the floor. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a few breaths here. Again, flat lower back, lower belly in. Keep your shoulders open and rotating out. Gaze forward, step back through to the front of the mat, look up with a flat back. Exhale as you fold forward. Inhale, rise all the way up, reaching through your arms and chest. Exhale, release your hands into your equal standing position. Inhale, arms back up. Exhale, fold it forward. Look up halfway on your next inhale, belly in. Exhale, step back to plank. Now you can always do a chaturanga with your knees on the floor. Bend your elbows halfway. Remember that 90-degree angle. Stop there. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Find the Ujjayi breath. Observe the posture and stay present and mindful. Look back towards your hands. Step it through to the front of the mat. Flat back. Look up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach for the sky as you anchor through your legs, pulling through the core to the fingertips, and bring your hands to your sides. Now let's go into a sun salutation V, starting with chair pose. Bend your knees. Inhale into chair, shoulders soft. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, step, or you can hop it back into your chaturanga. Remember the 90-degree angle bend, don't go past it. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's move into warrior one. Anchor your left heel down, step your right foot forward. Inhale, rise to the arms. Keep your hips square, shoulders relaxed. Exhale as you take your hands down. Step back into plank, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Warrior one on the other side. Step your left foot forward. Your right heel is anchored. Rise up into your warrior one. Tailbone down, lower core lifted. Exhale as you take your hands back down into plank, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a few more breaths here. Settle. Reconnect to the ujjayi if you've lost it. Stay present. And then gazing towards your hands, step or hop back to the front of the mat. Look up with the flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, back into chair pose. Exhale to standing. Release your arms down to your sides. Step the left foot out to the side. Take a wide stance, hands to hips. Inhale, exhale, forward fold. Keep the legs firm. You can always bend the knees. Just like your forward fold and your down dog, you want your lower back to stay flat. The intention is not to try to touch the floor with your head. It's to try to feel the lengthening in the hamstrings. Inhale, look up, and let's take Skandasana. So bend into your knee, lunging over towards the side. You can keep your hands on the floor or take them to prayer. Let's switch sides. Try to keep your heels on the floor for this variation. And take it back to the center. Now let's come through to a seated position. Extend both legs straight out in front of you for Paschimottanasana, for extended forward fold. Pay attention to how it feels in your body, especially through the lower back and the backs of the legs. Don't try to reach for your feet if you feel like you're straining through the shoulders. The shoulders should be relaxed here. Your inner thighs press down, belly in. Inhale, take it all the way back up. Now bring the bottoms of the feet together for our Baddha Konasana. Don't worry about whether or not your knees touch the floor. Just try to take it forward with a flat back. Deep breaths through the hips. Inhale as you slowly take it all the way back up, and then extend both legs straight out in front of you. Crossing the right leg over the left, hook your left elbow or hug your shin with your left hand and twist it to the right. Try to keep your hips anchored to the floor and the lower back elongated. Deep breaths into the twist. And then let's switch it out to the other side. Extend the right leg out, cross the left leg over, hug the shin or hook the elbow and twist it to the left. Deep breaths up and down the spine. And gently release the twist. Now let's make our way onto our back. Pull the belly in, slowly round down with control. And then bend your knees and bring your feet flat to the floor. Take your right ankle over your left knee. Draw the left knee in towards your chest. Scoop your right hand into that hole between the thighs and then wrap around your left thigh or your left shin to draw the left knee in towards your chest. So this is a great piriformis stretch, glute stretch, and then let's switch sides. Left ankle over the right knee. Gradually draw the right knee in. Try to stay equally balanced through both sides as you pull the right knee to the body and press the left knee away from the body. Try to keep the shoulders on the floor and the tailbone drawn down. And release it out. So both feet flat to the floor. Let's go into a bridge pose. Keep your toes pointing forward. Draw your shoulder blades in and press. So we lift into this back bend through the strength in the legs, pressing down through the feet, pressing up through the thighs. Use your core a little bit more than your glutes. Pressing into the shoulders and maintaining that space between the shoulders. And gently release it back down. Let's take a gentle inversion so you can stay on your back and lift your legs straight up for legs elevated pose, or you can do as I'm demonstrating and take your legs all the way up into a shoulder stand. Now this isn't a neck stand. You should not feel the pressure in your neck. It is a shoulder stand, so your shoulders are pressing down into the floor to take the weight off of your neck. If you feel any pressure in the neck, you can take your hips a little bit lower down. Feel free to transition into a plow pose if you feel like that is accessible, that you're not feeling strain in your neck or shoulders. And then very slowly round yourself all the way back down onto your back. Draw both knees in towards your chest. Drop your knees over to the right as you look towards the left for a gentle twist. Again, trying to keep the shoulders flat on the floor. And then drop your knees to the left as you look over towards the right. Bring your knees back into the center. Draw both knees into your chest. Give them a gentle squeeze as you pull your forehead in towards your knees. And then soften your body all the way down to the earth for a brief Shavasana. Letting the body go, softening through your fingers and your toes. And feel free to pause the recording if you want to take an extended Shavasana. This is a very quick practice. It is meant just to take you through the full range of motion of your entire body. And if you're focusing on the Ujjayi breath, you also feel a balancing in your nervous system, in your energetic body. When you feel like you've taken a full Shavasana, pull your knees to your chest, come to your right side, and then gradually make your way back into a seated position. To prayer, create your intention for the day.